Hey there everybody, Tassie here, with another little commentary. Not done one for a while, and I thought it was about time that you heard my voice again, because without it your lives just aren't complete. And this time I'm returning to the scene of my favourite commentary, which is Dagger. Last time it was a team speedrun with the super best friends with Navi and Goosh and Heroic. This time it's just me and Heroic, trying to do the same thing but just the two of us. Joining the action here on wave 6. Devices for the second time this game, which is always frustrating on any kind of run when you're going for a good time. Controlled there by a bit of turret action. So right now, obviously Kenny's off, trying to pimp his score as much as possible, so he looks good on the end screen. Not really helping with objectives though, because he's a massive jerkbag. One of the things you probably notice here is how good a paint job my engineers got. In fact, when you see phantoms being stunned by the ADIS, it's not, they're just actually amazed by how much better than them that I look. So you go, another device that I'm getting and Heroic isn't. Oh, sorting out that guy there pretty good though. And of course, you know, you're never going to get a nice easy one, apart from the first one in this wave, but that's just the exception that proves the rule. So we did 3 runs this night. Did one with human soldiers, which we did on Giant with the Claymore, which is always pretty much my favourite character and loadout. And this is the second one. End of the wave now, and this is the end of the wave. It's filled with 1 million nemesis. But there only being 8 enemies left. I think we had to kill 30 or 40 of them. I've never noticed that, like, the ADIS when it fires looks like it's some kind of jizz cannon. Just look at it going out there. So this game I'm using incendiary ammo. I tend to use incendiary or disruptor because I like those sick explosions, but fire explosions are definitely the best sounding, so that's why I like to go for the incendiary. And the fact that it's completely glitched out with pretty much everything is also quite useful. So watch this, watch this. Isn't that the greatest missile you have ever seen? There is none finer. So even though we're speedrunning, we didn't really have any kind of plan. Just kind of ran round, sort of like you stand at one end, me at the other. You've missed a pretty cracking earlier wave, 4 or 5, where Heroic managed to use nearly all of his shells in a single round, getting jumped on and chopped up by phantoms. So kind of the idea was these sort of ways: you fire out a couple of missiles, blow some stuff up, shoot everything with guns. Throw out a few combat drones. Feels a bit like camping up here, to be honest. Oh, look at her. See there? She's completely wowed by my paint job. Just gonna polish off the last few enemies now on this wave. Not really a lot of interesting things to say, apart from maybe the odd hilarious death that happens, so maybe talk about some other stuff. Going to be trying some new and different games soon, get some nice new bids up, and be playing some of these for the old team, some old Team Arlex guys, so expect to see more of Erotic Mass, the Unintelligible Goosh, Defleshing, and maybe if you're lucky, maybe you'll see Bob the Elcor or even up in your slaying. See there? Too long, not quite sure where to shoot, and get gunned down hilariously by phantoms. Yes, anyway, so we're going to be playing a new game, and that's going to be Payday 2. I'm playing the beta on PC, which has been a lot of fun. Uh, the PC community seem to be a bit weird, and I'd say elitist, but not really. They're quite protective when they're in their little groups of friends with strangers. Oh, some good dying there. Some awesome dying. So yeah, Payday out in the States and probably most of the world tomorrow. But as a old-fashioned imperialistic country, Trappings of Empire dictate we won't get it over here until Friday. Hoping my pre-order arrives on time. Yes, Payday 2, if you're not familiar with it, it's a bunch of masked hooligans run around holding up banks, robbing stores, engaging in all kinds of criminal behaviours. I played a lot of Payday 1 on PS3. In fact, it was the game I played a lot of before I started playing the old Mass Effect here. Kind of gave me that taste for sort of four-player co-op modes, which have become my favourite over recent times. Yep. Here you see, with the ADIS I can't penetrate the old Guardian shield, so I'm having to rely on the old combat drone behind you trick. So you can't do anything there. Combat drone behind him. It's behind you! Oh, I better turn around and oh my god, I get a shot in the back! I wouldn't have anticipated that happening at all. Next time I'll do a more amusing Guardian voice. Huge amount more to say about these waves really, because they're boring as fuck really. The run after this was on Rio with Batarian soldiers, and the old tatty of not being able to aim and generally playing terrible. Okay, back to the 4. Recommend go and have a look at that if you just want to see quite how terrible I am. Managed to not tank B that time. Comes Phantom and drop some overloads and some jizz cannon. And bang we go. Watch this Atlas drop as I hit a thermal clip pack for extra damage. Again, that's all me and no hurricane help at all there from Kenny with his Crutch-O-Matic 2000. Oh, here we go. Polish off this this wave easily enough before we get to the enormous hilarity of extraction, where we try and do everything in our power to ruin all of our good work and not actually extract at all. Even though we were technically doing a bit of an old speed run here, we can't say we were really pushing for time. 2 sets of devices, no real plan, and some terrible missiling. Surprised to have even broken 20 minutes. My original plan for this evening was to get some of the old Team Alex alumni back together and do some speed runs on some of the hazard maps with as many classes as possible to make it as difficult as possible. You know, Firebase White and Dagger, classes with some visual overlays like Hunter Vision or whatever, so we could actually see what we're doing. Firebase Ghost and Glacier Hazard with low health, low shield characters, so we die more easily. Yeah, that kind of malarkey. I think we're about to start doing a lot of dying. Yeah, come on. Oh, oh, that's the first one. It's alright. I've got 4 gels here. What could and a ops back? Only 56 seconds. That'd be plenty, I'm sure. No, heroic, no. Run, Taddy, run! Quite sure how she managed to hit me there. Whipping me with a massive telescope pole. Right, that's down to 2 gels. No ops backs. There's Kenny down. Combat drain action. Oh. Well, I've got 1 left. 25 seconds. I'm going to use 3 in 20 seconds. No. Maths must surely be on my side. Oh no, not again. Well, 1 gel left, but downs at the end. And try and do some more of these. It'll be a little bit more exciting next time. Until then, good night.